Good pedal motion. Keep your knees close to your top tube.
My name is Dieter Drake, and I promote a number of bicycle races around the region. We develop farm team cycling to give kids an opportunity to take part in an organized sport that they otherwise probably wouldn't get anywhere near. There's never been a cycling team here in Cambridge, or really hasn't been anything like that in the Upstate New York area for a number of years. So for a lot of people, it's brand new.
Visualize yourself climbing the hill. This next is going to be 2 minutes hard, the same thing, okay? 2 minutes on a hill. Focus on the clock, that's the top of the hill. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2 harder gears, 1, top to the bar. Top to the bar, top to the bar, Gary. 2 minutes, pace yourself. Go on a climb.
We basically start right around January, late January, with the spinning classes. We get the kids on trainers, and it's an organized spinning class. To getting those kids, I basically send out an announcement, we're going to get started in January, and all of a sudden we got a full house of kids. This year we did it at the rescue squad. When those kids are together in the wintertime, it's less serious for the younger kids, but they can get exposed to some of the older kids who've had some success.
3, 2, 1, stand up 15 seconds, come on, make it hard, come on. Your last sprint right here.
Well, I first got into cycling with my dad, just going out kind of old bikes and stuff. And then we were friends with the Kings, and they got me into joining farm team.
Derek has always been interested in cycling with his dad. His dad passed away 3.5 years ago. And that was something that him and his dad and his brother used to do a lot. They used to bike. And they used to watch the Tour de France. So I called Dieter up, and they were riding the next week. I think it was Austin, Thorne was another one, and I think one other boy at that time. And I said, that's perfect. That's just what he needs, and something that I think that he would really enjoy. After he came back from the ride with them, he really liked it. And I said, well, do you think you want to do it again? He said, yeah, definitely. And that was it. I took off.
Cycling is a passion. It's fast, it's exciting. But it's always different. You're working with team members, but a lot of times you're by yourself trying to stick on, and it's grueling. You have to have the endurance and such, which I kind of like.
Derek's a quiet kid. He got involved in the sport, I think, about a year ago. He knows a lot about the sport, more so than probably other kids, and watches the Tour de France on TV, and rides his bike, sometimes 2-4 hours on a weekend. Derek's a leader. I mean, he's definitely a leader. He's shown those capabilities on the bicycle. So he's really been a good mentor for some of these other kids that are brand new to the sport.
Being a role model to them would be kind of cool. Show them what to do, and kind of give them tips and stuff like Austin did for me. Definitely a responsibility, I think it would be a nice thing, and then they look up to me like I did to Austin.
Gauge yourself. If there's a lot of short climbs, you almost have to treat it like one long climb. Pace yourself, good pedal cadence, good position on the bike.
Cycling is a tremendously tactical and strategic sport, more so than most other sports. Running, typically, it's the fastest guy that wins. Now, it's not so with cycling. It could be the luckiest guy that wins. It takes some skill. It's chess, it's not checkers. You have to think 2 or 3 steps ahead. In terms of developing that and instilling that in the riders, once we get over that hurdle and the kids are competent and safe on a bike, and we know that they're not going to present a danger to somebody else or themselves, we start to develop the skills. The older kids are obviously a little bit more serious about it. They want to win races, more so probably than younger kids. The younger kids are out there to have fun and to chat, and that's fine. But the older kids start to get a little bit more serious about that, and they learn that very quickly.
We'll make it a hilly ride, and then any hill we come to, we'll pick up the pace, all right? Not until we get to McKee Hollow, though. This should be a warm-up.
I have a very defined goal for each of those rides, and the kids are going to go out there and ride a pace line and learn what it's like to do that. Or we're going to go out and ride in attack hills. The kids learn how to do that at all ages, both the young kids and the older kids. It's exciting to watch that because you see that translated into a race situation. They get to the end of the race and they know what they did right and they know what they did wrong, because we talked about that in the rides.
Recreating leaders here. That's Alyn Ostrander of Albany, Alyn Ostrander Jr. Pulling the field this time.
Derek loves to race, clearly. In a race situation, it's extremely competitive. He puts on a different hat or something like that. This kid gets in a race situation and he doesn't let anybody beat him. So he's very competitive, and that's what we like to see.
We're just now gearing up for our junior races.
Similar driving skills.
And there they go, our 15, 16-year-olds, 17, 18-year-olds. Here in the Glens Falls Downtown Criterium and New York State Criterium Championship. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a breakaway rider still staying away. That's Derek Wojtkun. I hope I got that right, out of Cambridge, New York.
Yeah, we had the most riders and in the team, like out of the pack. So you figured if one person would attack, and then when he would get back in the pack, another person would go, and we'd keep that up so we'd have time to rest, and then we can try and get a rider away from the pack and win the race. I finished third, and towards the last turn, they slowed down, and I kind of went a little bit early, and I think it was Brandon who was able to stick with Curtis White to the finish, and he took second.
Well, let's give them all a hand.
For the older kids, we definitely have a little bit more of a developed plan for every particular race. The younger kids are out there to have fun, and we're all out there to have fun, but more so for the younger kids, they're out there to chat with their teammates and race against other kids that they maybe only see in the weekends or every other weekend. It's not quite as intense as it is for the older kids. For the older kids, we definitely give a leadership role for one particular kid, and that person is the team leader for the day, and he's supposed to do the barking out of orders for the other teammates, and that's worked fairly well. We had an interesting situation at a recent race, maybe a month ago, where our best rider, Austin McLenithan, had gotten a flat tire ahead of him, and Austin was waiting for the wheel van, waiting for somebody to help him. And Derek ended up getting off his bike, giving Austin his wheel, and took off. So that was his job. He helped Austin get to the finish line, and he sacrificed his day for his teammate. And those are the kinds of things that we talk about that are important for cycling, and make sure kids are understanding that there are responsibilities inside the team to make sure your teammates are taken care of.
That's at the time when I was coming up that hill. I saw Austin off the side of the road, and I was gonna go by him, and then it just hit me. I was like, I'll give him my wheel. So I pulled around. I was like, hey, Austin, you want my wheel? And he's like, definitely. So took a little while to get off. It was kind of weird, but gave him my wheel, and he went off, and found my way back to the start finish and waited for everybody else to finish.
So when he came walking back down the hill with bike in hand, we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? And it was better than finishing or winning a race, the fact that he did stop and give Austin his wheel. And Austin himself too, when he came down, he was really happy that he had done that, and came over and said, hey, thanks man, great thing. So he should be very proud, and I'm very proud of him that he chose to do that.
Farm Team is a grassroots cycling program. That's what it is. It's not an elite cycling program. That takes another level of support that I don't have the time for, I don't have the resources for. I have a lot of time and resources to put into lots of riding around this area, but getting the kids to races once they reach that level is a whole nother ballgame. We want to continue to develop kids and get more kids into the sport that otherwise wouldn't have any reason to get into it. Once a kid reaches Austin McLenithan's level, for example, and he's on the cusp of becoming a Cat 2 rider, we really want to expose him to as many opportunities as possible. And there's a number of people in the community that have done that, and myself included, to get him or a kid at that level exposed to the other level, the next level of the sport, where he might have an opportunity to join a regional team that could take him other places that Farm Team can't. We have a lot of kids traveling from all over the region. It's becoming more obvious that we probably need to set up satellite programs around the region for farm team. And we'll probably do that next year, I think, in combination with some other clubs around the area.
Not many people are able to find their passion in life, and it's a sad thing. And when you do, and when you are able to find that passion, I think it just will carry you through life.
Cycling is definitely a passion. Definitely want to go as far as I can with it, and it'll probably be a life thing.